Gentlemen, today on Administrative Results, we're going over the PTR 32P PDWR. Say that 5 times fast. I'm actually surprised how much I've come to enjoy this gun so far. It's alarming. Hey cameraman, if we get the down! Das ist deutscher Draco. You know, honestly, it's kind of a treat. This is only the beginning of the German Draco, Das ist deutscher Draco, because as silly as this current configuration is, we can do better. So let's do a little bit better. Do you guys like my custom RAL 8000 rattle can job? Clearly I did it myself. If there was ever a gun that feels like it would truly be a mercenary in Africa type gun, a 7.62x39 HK roller delay blowback gun would fit the bill absolutely perfectly in my opinion. It is very synonymous with Africa, like the G3 or the Setme, whereas you have like these deterioration of colonialism where you're fighting against like these communist influences. It feels like this perfect combination of the Western quality of firearms using the Eastern world 7.62x39, which is just abound in a plenty in certain parts of the world. And that was kind of like an inspiration for the video. I usually am not a big fan of these weirder 7.62x39 guns, but in certain contexts, these guns seem to make a lot of sense. Really where they make the most sense is you're in a nation that really just has infinite number of 7.62x39. It is abound in a plenty and you need a gun to run that, but you don't want to use like an AK. That's pretty much it. If I'm being honest, I was a little bit worried about doing a video on this particular gun because it feels very much in the same ballpark as the PDWR we already did on the channel, which was chambered in 7.62x51. Got my hands on it and I was like worried. I shot a little bit and then I kind of really liked it. And then once I got it all tricked out, I was like, oh, I really like this. I think it's actually really fun. I'm gonna take it from the top. Gentlemen, I'm just kidding. Now that was kind of how I was feeling. I was feeling a little bit on the I really don't kind of give a shit. And then I kind of started to play with this notion a little bit more. Started to mold this idea in my cranium of a more neat kind of gun. You know, the options on the table. We can criticize it, we can pick it apart, we can have a good time. Now, PTR did not pay me any money, but they did send me this gun with the idea that they're like, all right, yeah, this guy's got a YouTube channel. Free marketing is what they're thinking. Now I make my money off sponsors, so I don't want their dough. Whenever you criticize a gun in the gun industry, they'd be like, well, actually, and it's like, dude, it sucks, man. I'm sorry. Hey man, I sell rigs. People don't like my rigs. They think they're dumb. It is what it is. Don't hate the player, hate the game, big dog. So out of the box, the gun is really a German Draco. Hence the title. Really not a lot of practicality usage there. Well, the back plate, you can actually swap out throwing an AR buffer tube onto that back plate, and then you can use a stock or a brace. Right now, it's in the current brace configuration. Big, beautiful build just passed. I'll still be on the fence about wanting to SBR this or not. I wish we didn't have to worry about it. That would be wonderful. At least it's something, right? Right, in the right direction, I guess. The gun out of the box has the Picatinny top rail already attached on it. Now, in some ways, I like this for convenience and others for playing with certain parts that I have. I don't know how I feel. Part of me wishes I had the option to not have it on there, but it's not that big of a deal because it's kind of nice to have it without having to worry about any other mounts to throw on it. For a white light, we didn't really have the white light on for the shooting portion. We were using the other Surefire 628 handguard, but that handguard just does not interface well because of the bulb hitting the Huxworks muzzle brake. Big sneeze. I like to sneeze right at my cameraman. I cannot remember for the life of me the name of this weapon mounted light system. I think it's like a Gibbs Outfitter, something like that. I'll have to message Colton later about what it is. But it goes around the front sight and it works, it does the job. And I like it because it's very low impact and intrusive. I was playing around with the setup because when I got the PDWR in 7.62x51, that one came with the M-LOK rail. and the M-LOK rail, where I think it's of course practical for attaching stuff to it. I just love older aesthetics of HK stuff, right? And of course it's a PTR, but I love the older aesthetics of whether it's a built-in light or just a classic polymer plastic handguard, whatever the hell it is. I like that stuff. And this one handles heat really good. I feel like that skinny M-LOK rail would just get pretty hot pretty quick. So pretty simple setup on the gun itself. Now, when it came to the shooting experience, of course, we shot at just bone stock and it was silly and fun and just ridiculous at an indoor range. And that was even before having the Huxworks brake on there. Taking it out to the desert and pushing it a little bit harder, it actually was pretty fun. I will stand in the open and receive counter gunfire. I'm just a YouTuber. I'm an idiot. So the timeline was, got it, rattle canned it, took it to the indoor range, messed around with it there, took it to the gun store, got some work on it, swapped out the back, got the brace on there, got the silencer on there. And I was actually surprised at how well it ran with like zero tuning. It's running like a charm. Because I knew sometimes with these bolts, you want to have like a different locking piece in there, depending on how you're running the gun, and it just started chugging away. Maybe the flow through can helped out a lot with not having to worry about that timing issue, but it was just rocking and rolling, and it actually was, yet again, surprisingly, very fun. I don't know why it was just such a good time to run around with this thing. Now, like any good muzzle brake with a big caliber, once you start running this thing, it is extremely concussive. My head hurts! But it does a great job at deleting that recoil. Censored for YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Can't believe that was the thing, dude. This platform is ridiculous. You know, it's not quite pleasantly hearing safe. I mean, we aren't using 7.62x39 subsonic rounds. It's not terrible. This also probably explains why every once in a while I'll get that little in my ears by now. Now you may be wondering, a 7.62x39 roller delayed platform like this could be some kind of a sacrilege. It could just be an abomination, but this was actually a thing, and it goes back way into the HK days when they started doing this thing, like back in the late 50s, I want to say. And they were playing around with a roller delayed gun like this in the G3 platform, but with 7.62x39. I believe it was called the HK32. And it was a gun that really didn't see much wide appeal at all. I think Mexico got one, and then maybe another country. But really it's kind of like, it's that, and then a flash in the pan, and it's gone. PTR brings it back, which I think is kind of cool, because from the outside looking in, before learning about the HK32, you know, doing this video, I was like, why would I want a 7.62x39 little HK rifle like this? I'd rather have it in, you know, like the Western calibers, like 308 or 5.56 or 9mm, of course. But once you learn about the history, it kind of becomes like a cool, like, okay, I'm probably never gonna get like a legit H&K 32. So this could be that fill-in for the collection, which I think makes it kind of fun in that sense. I can feel the vibrations from all of the concrete and everything in my manhood, dude. It's like a little, whew, I'm like, oh, hey, I feel that. Do you like milsurp? Of course you do. You watch this channel. I know you do. Americana Pipe Dream has you covered for all your milsurp needs. Not only do they have military surplus clothing, but a plethora of other items. Night vision, knives, manuals, e-bikes. Get it all. Combine it. Terrorize your HOA or your neighborhood or your local police department. They will fear your drip. Use code admin at checkout to get 10% off. It's an exquisite deal. I love you, Americana Pipe Dream. Do you love me? Optics Planet, the optics sponsor of the channel. A screaming deal for your optic needs. What are you doing still here? You better keep watching. Now, sadly, Badlands doesn't make any 7.62x39, but they do make a plethora of other awesome ammo. And they are the ammo sponsor of Administrative Results. And I like them for that. Nay, I love them for that. They honestly have a lot of cool stuff going on over at their shop. They actually do have some pretty sick stuff. Like they make 85 grain 5.56. They also are working on a 308 cartridge. That's a SBR optimized 308 cartridge. And of course, a plethora of 9mm options. Jello shots being one of them. What a silly and fanciful name for an ammunition. And I think the gun is kind of practical compared to, say, other guns, of course, we've had on the channel. Obviously a lot cheaper to shoot than a 308 version of its family. Not as cheap as, say, 9mm like an MP5, but that's what it is. I guess SP5 or whatever clones. As far as practicality goes, I think the gun is up there. It's not, of course, not the highest end, highest speed gun. You're not gonna see tier 1 guys running around with this thing unless they do. Unless of course it just magically happens, but probably not. That being said, I think it is more than able to lock down a hallway in your house in case there's some rapscallions breaking in for your doubloons. I think this thing could be a very fun hog hunting gun where you're just putting 30 cal slugs into those feral hogs that are tearing up the farmland. I think that would be a blast. 7.62x39 I think is a really fun cartridge. It's got a lot of power. You're sending a lot of ass down range. You have options for doing, of course, supersonic and subsonic rounds. I think there's a lot of flexibility there. It's almost like it could be kind of cool too to also have this in 300 blackout. The obvious big benefit that it has is in that 7.62x39 caliber. As an American consumer, there was that time where that ammo was plentiful and cheap, but then it became a little bit more expensive, and I think it may have settled a little bit more, but that could be up in the air. That being said, it's still an option. I think it's a really fun option too, because as a gun guy, so much of like range time, if you are going out and training, is like really focused on serious tactical training, whether you're being proficient with a rifle, and typically that rifle is going to be like an AR-15 platform shooting 5.56. If it's not that, then it's also going to be like an AK platform shooting 5.45 or 7.62x39 or a 5.56 AK. So it's really fun, like another option to break up the monotony of the big two, whether you're an AR guy or an AK guy. And really the only difference for this from like an AK is that the charging handles on the front, yeah, it's like got a whole different mechanism on the inside, but it's like you do the whole HK charging slap thing. It's like, woo, guys go bananas for it. AK is just like a it's like, oh, it's not as fun as this. I love that we're just this dumb, dude. This is what goes on in our brain. We're just built like this. I get to slap gun? Oh my God, wow. The HK platform of this manual of arms of reloading is very fun because it's so like monotonous, doing all the tediumness to it. I don't hate it. I'm actually surprised at myself for not being more excited for it. It was kind of like, do you know who you are? Into these weird guns moment, and then I realized like, oh yeah, this is like the stuff that I love. I think one thing out of the box working against it would be that trigger. Those triggers on these guns, the platforms, are just usually not awesome. As good as they could be. You could get very well good with it, that's all great, but compared to the triggers that like you know and love, using this thing is just not as enjoyable as your other options. Now there are aftermarket stuff that you can try out. What gets more exciting is the potential for super safety integration. I think there is a lot of potential there. Now YouTube does not like that topic, and so I think that will be a Pepperbox topic if that ever comes down the pipeline. So if you're not on Pepperbox, I'd encourage you to check it out. It's an exclusive platform that I and a lot of other YouTubers are on, where we don't get our PP slapped by big YouTube. There's exclusive content, there's early access to content. I believe there's also a free trial period, so that's kind of a nice option. If you're a fan of my work and like other people's works that's on there, I think it's like, as far as a Patreon would go, it's a pretty screaming deal, so you get a lot of bang for your buck. I myself do release exclusive videos on there where I show my toes. Just kidding, I don't do that. That's for my ultra exclusive Dubai Prince level. I find myself getting more and more into the roller delayed guns as time goes on. Like of course, you guys know I'm a big MP5 guy. I sadly only have like my Zenith knockoff. I'm still on the fence if I want to get an SP5 or not. Ideally, in my dream scenario, I would sell off into the sunset with a full auto MP5A3, and then you guys would never hear from me ever again. That would be the ideal situation. It's not gonna happen just yet. I still got YouTube yapping to do. The amount of debris we're kicking up, I am sorry about the roof panels, unlimited ammo, but they look like they're in a rough way already, so it's okay. Price point for what it is, it's a little bit steeper. And I say that because to me it's like more of a fun gun, and it's kind of an expensive fun gun to dump money on. That being said, your finances are your own. Wherever you sit fiscally, it's up to you. I think if you have not only the Skrilla, but the Skrilla for tricking it out, I think it's fun. Like yet again, I can't stress enough how much like enjoyment I got. I didn't think it was gonna be that much of a good time. At this point in the game, I have shot a lot of guns, and it's like, okay, wow, Woo. This one I was like, that's actually a pretty good time. Like, I was having a good time when I got out there and I was shooting, and I was like, all right, this was worth the drive to go and dump some lead. I think it's a good gun if you are a person who really likes the HK roller delayed blowback series and family of firearms, and you also have a cache of 7.62x39 burning a hole in your pocket. If that is the case, it may just be a marriage made in heaven. Or if you're just probably like an insufferable gun hipster and you want to be weird and be different than everyone else, and you want to make this like your personality, by all means, go buck wild. I think I would like this gun even more if it had like the collapsible stock or just a better folding stock in general. Maybe I would probably even enjoy it that much more if it was of that HK family line. It's got potential. It's got a lot of potential. Is it right for you? I have no idea. I think it's neat. I think it's fun. These things have got to have a break in the seal because they get like super foggy. Oh, my nuts. It could be one of those slept on builds because, dude, no one thinks about these weird 7.62x39 variants. Like, I personally think they're dumb until, of course, it works, right? That's kind of like symbolic of life. Like, it's dumb until it works. And in this case, in this build out, like, it was dumb and now it works. Wow. Deep. Ultimately, gentlemen, I got nothing else for you. I'll catch you on the flip. It's actually kind of sick. Damn. Also, big thank you to Unlimited Ammo for letting us use their indoor range. Appreciate you guys. We're gonna die young, dude. Hope you realize that.